Record to the cloud. Here we go. All right. Like I said, it's June 5th, 2020, 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It only means one thing and one thing only. It's time for ProbateData PowerGym. Now, last week we did mail merge. We got super geeky and went into it, and several of you sent me your details. One of you sent me like 200 leads and a really nice letter, and I mail merged it. We mail merged it for you guys, sent it back to you in PDF and a Word document. Some of you sent me like 20 or 30, but we got it done, and I was happy to see that so many of you took advantage of that offer to get that going. So good for you. For those of you that took advantage of it, got in on time. Some of you emailed me that you were in the middle of a closing. You couldn't get it to me by Friday. So if that's the case, you can go ahead and email me today before end of business, and I'll still get it done for you guys. So today what I figured we'd do is kind of keep it open forum and ask me anything about ProbateData. But before we do that, I know we have a lot of new people on ProbateData. So I'm going to do the basics, just kind of go through the account, go through where the resources are. Meanwhile, while I'm doing that, for those of you guys that have been with us for a while, think about questions you want to ask around ProbateData, ProbateData.com, around leads, strategies, anything like that. Don't ask me questions around like, what does this technical term in probate mean? And like, I don't know the intricacies of like the actual probate cases and what it means. I can give you my thoughts, but I'm not an expert by any means. But what I can help you with strategy and managing your data, and also give you some good tips and pointers on like how to break the ice with people when you're calling on them and get the ball rolling. So with that being said, let's just jump in and take a look here. If you have any questions, you can also you can put it in chat. Let's roll. Make sure you guys see the right screen. You should be looking at ProbateData, is that correct? Thumbs up? Yeah, all right, good. I'm only asking because I'm a little paranoid. I did a presentation, it was a week or 2 weeks ago, and like 10 minutes into it, people are telling me like, we're looking at your Slack channel of your messages between you and Brad and Mike and Molly. And that was going on for 10 minutes. No one was telling me anything. So I was sharing the incorrect screen. So now I'm kind of paranoid, like what are you looking at? Okay, so we're looking at this. Obviously this is your account. So for those of you that are new, I just want to point out some of the resources that are available to you. You can watch these videos right here, first things first. Again, if you're brand new to ProbateData, you may never have to log in ProbateData, right? Because we're emailing you leads consistently, whether it's historical or it's brand new leads. What we're beginning to see now is courthouses are beginning to open up a little bit, but it doesn't mean we have full access. It just means that we have limited access or some access. And it also means that they have to catch up with filings. But we're beginning to see, like in LA County and some of the other counties in Florida, where we're beginning to see like the relaxing thing in Texas as well, where we have access to courthouses and getting researchers in there. Some of our researchers are a little bit skittish about getting back into the game. They don't want to be exposed. They're still worried about COVID, which I understand. But the good news is overall, we're seeing courthouses opening up. We're seeing filings taking place. We're seeing cases being filed. So you should be getting, a lot of you should be getting emails over the next week or two on a regular basis, like you were used to before COVID-19, which is new cases are available, click here to download, right? And then also you'll be getting emails with historical prospecting leads. So in addition to that, you can always log into ProbateData. The reason you might want to do that is you want to do more specific searches, you want to go further back in time, you want to look up specific case information. So that's inside here in ProbateData. You can watch these videos here. To do a new search, you just click on new search. We're going to do that right now, but you can click on new search. Your search list is what you've looked at in the past. So all your past searches that you've done, if you click on that, it kind of gives you a chronological order of your search history. And you can click on that little button right here. Data sorts by the most recent one. So the most recent one I did was 5/21. If you want to look at everything you've ever downloaded, this is a good one. You can go back to my account. And you can go to, where did it go? Okay, here it is. So you guys, I'm subscribed to everything. I'm in a demo account, but it will just show yours where yours are at. Now this will go back into your download statistics right here. And in here, you can go into view all your downloads. If you click on that, it gives you a full case count when you download it and what the file type was. If you want to re-download it, you can absolutely do that. There's no charge for that. That doesn't count towards your monthly limit of 100. So you can always go back in here and re-download any cases that you want. For some of you, that might be valuable. If you want to go further back in time, you've been with us for a while, you want to scrub this against your database or Zillow or anything like that, that might have been where the property may not have been sold yet. Let's see, there's a couple of chat comments here. Doesn't show up, okay. So that's just a basic cursory overview. The other thing I want to point out for those that are new is you go to youtube.com/ProbateData, and that's our that's all our archives here, and most of our recorded webinars are here. And if you want to go into specific topics, you can go into our playlists. And in our playlist, we have things like success stories and interviews, top rated webinars, golden leads, that's historical prospecting, and how does platinum work. So if you go into top rated webinars, those are some of the webinars that I got the best feedback on, people like the most, and we've been receiving emails, so I put those in here. And there's a counter over here. I want to play this right now. But basically, you can watch any of these right here. You can also just go back to your the main list. You can look at videos. And that's going to give you a chronological. So here's last week's, right? ProbateData PowerGym, mail merge class. And these are all organized by date. So that's what's available here, and then your playlist. All right, so now that was just kind of warm up round. Let me go see if there's any questions here. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Elizabeth's asking, so if we never click on those links, we're not missing out on anything. So I'm guessing, Elizabeth, what you're asking is if you never click on any of these past download links, you're not missing anything. That's correct, because either you've downloaded in the past and it's there on your desktop, and you can access them that way. Adrian is asking, are the leads that are emailed to us whether it's likely to have property? Yes, they're likely to have property based on what we're seeing. So what we're looking at is, let's say you go back 24 months and you look for cases that were filed within a 2-month period of 24 months ago or 18 months ago. And then we look at the last sale date based on Zillow. Based on that, if the last sale date is not within that window, it was prior to that window, what we're doing is we're guesstimating that the property hasn't sold yet. So quite often I get these emails from people slightly ticked off or angry saying, why are you sending me these? It's already sold. Well, some of them may have been sold already. It hasn't been updated in Zillow, or some of them may not be for sale because they want to transfer it within the family, or some of them may not be sold because it's a nursing home. All right, so we get that. We always disclose that. So you got to do your own background check. We just pulled whatever's at Zillow. With that being said, I want to say 60–70% of the time, there's a willing and able PR that wants to sell this, right? And that's what you want to focus on. Don't focus on the 30% or so where it's not a match. Focus on the one where there's motivation, they want to sell. Wayne is asking, how long should we continue to prospect the lead? Okay, so I'm not going to answer that. I'll let the community answer that. Who wants to answer that question? How long should we continue to prospect the lead? What's the answer to that?
You can follow up for quite a few years, for 2–3 years. You never know when they're going to sell. You know that the average homeowner is at their home for 5 years. Sometimes they're even longer than that. So as an agent, I just have it different campaigns for different times. You can start, the 8x8 or the 36 touch or whatever.
Yeah.
And they say, no, I'm not selling. Well, maybe every quarter you send something.
Yeah.
It's up to you how long you want to keep after them. And
then, Claire brings up a really interesting point, because that's the difference between the regular market and the probate market. In the probate market, most people, 85 to 90% of PRs will sell within 12 months. So that's a hot, motivated seller. Whereas in the regular market, homeowners in the regular market, according to NAR, only 6% would sell within 12 months. So you look at 6% versus 85 to 90% of sales motivation. Where are you going to go fishing? If we went fishing in 2 different ponds and I said there's 6 fish over here and there's 90 fish over here, where are we going to go fishing? Where there's 90 fish, of course, right? So that's one answer. What Claire, so I think what Claire's saying, that pertains to the regular market. Yes.
Right.
Let's hear from somebody else, from Kathy, or anyone else who's got unmuted. Adrian.
So I would say that even if they decide not to sell the property or something like that, if you build a relationship, you can just put them in your normal database. So I would never stop following them.
Right, right. Always follow up, right? Like Brad always says, it's don't cut off the communication. Now, when it comes to probate, you can always look at what Mike taught you. For those of you who took Mike's class in CPRES, there's the 4 markets, right? There's the 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and the historical prospecting from filing. So you keep following up. Within the first 30 days, they're probably not that motivated. They're just figuring out what's going on. They're figuring out what's happening with the paperwork. They may think they don't have to sell. But in 60 days, now they're getting notice from creditors. Now things are heating up. And then 90 days plus, they're really motivated because now there's more creditors, more hospital bills, more things piling up. Heirs are knocking on the door. Where's my money? The motivation builds up over time. So you might find some that are motivated to sell right away, and then some that are motivated to sell in 12 months. But like I said, with historical prospecting, 10 to 15% of the time, it's going to take more than a year, more than 12 months, right? So depending on who you're targeting, that's how long you should follow up. But I think Don is right. Don is saying until you get an answer, until they list. I remember my own sales manager back in the days when I was selling software. He says you keep calling on them, you keep following up until they. These are his words, I'm quoting, until they buy or die. So basically he says until they buy or they're just completely off the radar or they're no longer in this position. I don't think he meant physical death, but he's like, until they buy or die. So that stuck in my head, and I kept making my 400 calls a week, and then I never stopped, right? And sometimes they'll just, damn, you're persistent. What do you want? Because I'm sitting here in a huge opportunity that involves you, and I just can't stop calling you until I know that you're not interested, right?
Always think about referrals also. You can get referrals from them.
Yeah. I hear you on that. Okay, so let's see. Kathy's asking, I don't understand why some properties are in the name of the deceased and the executor. Also, what is the rule of thumb about sending letters to executors living at the same address? Okay, so if you have an executor and you have the name of the deceased living at the same address, what does that mean? Let's hear from the team here. Who wants to take that one? You guys can also look in the chat. Oh, it's not in there. I'm gonna put this from Kathy. I'm gonna repost it into everybody. Kathy, you sent it to me privately.
No lawyer. That
No
means
lawyer?
there's no lawyer.
Who said that?
Glenn.
Oh, Glenn. Okay. All right. What else could it mean if the PR is living at the same address as the deceased?
They probably were taking care of the hidden or
Caretaker.
husband and wife. You'll
Yeah.
have the relationship on the PDF form if you print it.
Yep. Yeah, the PDF or even the spreadsheet, it usually shows the relationship to the deceased. Could be a friend, could be a brother, a sister, could be a cousin, could be anything, could be a spouse, right? Could be what they call in Canada civil union, where they're not married, but they're together for like 30 years. So that's what I would focus on, is reaching out and finding out what's going on.
I wanted to know.
Yeah.
I understand husband and wife and that, but they're living at the same address. Do you actually send them a letter, or just figured it's a dead lead because it's either the spouse or someone else is living in the home and they're probably not going to do anything with the property?
We don't know that, Kathy, right? We don't know yet. We don't know until we call. You don't know what's going on behind all the scenes. You don't know what their motivation is. We don't know what their money situation is, it also depends on how much equity there's in the home. If they're all of a sudden sitting on $500,000 in equity and they're going to move on with their life, and they want to, like, I remember when my father passed away 15 years ago, it took my mom 2 years to move out because she just wasn't ready. But when she was ready, she was ready. She was like, I need to get out of here. So, but sometimes that wasn't my mom's situation, but sometimes like the spouse passes away and they just can't, you don't know the circumstances, you just don't know. The biggest mistake we can make as an agent or anyone in the sales profession is to assume we know what's going on. We don't know. We just see the surface. We just go, okay, they filed, and this is what I keep saying, guys, the moment someone files is the moment they're ready to move on in some fashion or matter. Whether that turns into a listing for you or not, we don't know. Most of the time it turns into a listing because what Mike taught you. Mike has taught you and teaches everyone right now is like there's a huge wave going on, all the baby boomers, right? And a lot of times, 95% of the time, they don't have a living trust established. They have a will in place, and they think that that's all they need because they weren't educated, or they just didn't get the memo on that, or nobody thought about it. And then they passed away. Grandma passed away, and now she left a bit of a mess behind. She left a will behind that says, here's what I want to have happen, but her home is still in her name. Now, if the PRs and the executor or administrator, they live in the same address as the deceased, all it is a call. It's a phone call you got to make, or a letter you got to send out and find out what the story is. Does that make
Okay,
sense, Kathy?
thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, anyone using SMS to do follow-ups? Wayne wants to know. Anyone using text messages to do follow-ups? Texting people?
Yes.
Yes? All right, Dan, how's that going for you?
It's actually good. So I have a system set up where I touch them with a letter first, then a postcard, and then a text message. So that way they're getting all forms of communication.
Love
because,
it.
you know, some people just sort through the mail and chuck it. And
Yeah.
it's actually been working.
How's that working? So what are you using? Tell us more about like what are you using and what's your setup?
Because I usually start with a letter first and then a postcard. So my third touch is a text. So it usually starts out by saying, hey, I'm Dan Buckle. I am a certified probate. I understand you're going through a situation right now and I want to help you. You probably have received something in the mail. Hope you looked through it. If you have any questions, please give me a call.
Okay.
And some of them will say, oh yeah, I remember seeing that, or I didn't get it. And it starts the conversation.
Love it. And how many times does that turn into a phone call?
You know what? I did 174 and I got 2 deals out of it.
Nice. And are you texting from your phone, or are you using some kind of platform?
I use both. I have my phone that actually connects to my computer, so I can actually type it faster.
Nice.
And it comes through there, but I also have Twilio.
Twilio, yeah. Now, is Twilio something that's a standard thing they offer? Because I know they're the backbone of a lot of the text message. Like, for example, if you guys ever driven a Lyft or an Uber or any of these others where you get text message notification of what's going on, or you do, text messages from your bank, they need to verify that it's you, or with a secret word or secret. That's Twilio behind the scene that's doing most of that. They're an amazing company. So Dan, do they have something that's specific for the sales industry or for real estate agents, or did you have to kind of put it together yourself?
You can kind of put it together yourself. I'm with Keller Williams and it's built into our system,
Beautiful.
our command system. So I load everybody into my command system, all my contacts.
Yeah.
And then you set up a template and you can set delays, like send a text, wait 2 days, send another text, wait 5 days.
Love it.
So, and you don't need to be on a system or a company. You can go do it yourself. And I think I load $20 a month and it's like 8 cents a text, 0.8 cents a text. It's nothing.
Yeah, high impact. Thanks for sharing that.
No problem.
You could also, I heard good things about Google Voice. You can get Google Voice. You can text from there. It goes into your inbox as well. If people call you messages, it goes into your inbox there too. So interesting question. So Wayne, there's your answer. It's Twilio. Let me type that in here for everybody.
Is anybody emailing?
Twilio.com. Is anybody emailing? Who's emailing?
Clara, me.
Yeah, great.
Actually, at first, what I did was I went ahead and typed the letter that I was going to send out. But on those that I do have the email addresses, what I did was I emailed the letter. And actually, in the message, all I said was, please see attached letter. That's all, because I wanted to make sure that they would open the email. And in the email was my letter, addressed to them. I understand that you are the, either the executor, the administrator, or the petitioner, blah, blah, blah. And so that's how I got my first response so quickly within a couple of hours.
Nice.
So are you sending like a physical letter first and then email?
In those that I did not have the email address, I send the physical letter first.
Yeah, but what about the ones you have the physical address and an email?
I sent the letter in the email.
Just email. No, physical letter first.
Right, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I type the letter and then I email it.
Right, right,
That way it gets there faster.
right.
I
Okay,
like it. I like it. That's
thank you.
good.
Uh-huh.
So that's a good point. So you can email. So I think what Clara is doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Clara, I think what you're doing is you're mailing a letter, but then you're also emailing the body of the letter to someone saying, I mailed you this, but I want to make sure you get it here as well. Something to that effect.
No, actually, I just emailed the letter. I don't.
So you
do
attach the letter as an attachment.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. And people are opening that. They're opening the attachments. They don't have a problem with it.
Right, right.
Beautiful. Love it. Love
Hi,
it.
I have a
this is
question.
Minerva for Clara.
Yeah.
I get a lot of spammers, so if I get any emails that would say see attached, I don't even open those up. But if you say a little bit about what it's about, they probably will open it up. Those I will open up. If
Yeah.
it's coming from somebody that's legit, and
Right.
I will always check that out. Because
Yeah.
I get a lot of spammers. I get about 600 emails on a daily basis,
Uh-huh.
and about 1% of those are spammers.
Well, I actually, in the subject, what I do is I put the probate case
Case number, and yeah, that would be good. I would open that one.
Yeah, yeah. I
Nice.
put that's a subject for me. I just
Okay.
put regarding, and then the 20.
Regarding case number, please
Right.
see attached. Okay. All right. Thanks.
Sydney.
Jonathan, I have a question for
Yeah.
Dan.
Yes,
Dan,
go
what
ahead.
kind of postcards do you send out?
So I've done you can buy them 2 on a sheet that are already perforated at like Staples or Office Max, and do a with a color laser printer on both sides. So they look like they're professionally printed, because I don't want to print 800 for 150 contacts. So that works. And I've also done glossy paper. We have a beautiful laser printer at the office, and I've done trifolds.
And what did you say? I'm a certified C-Press, and I'm calling regarding probate case number 12345.
Hand me that. So I have this. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me take off this background. If I figure out how to do it.
Let's see the mayhem in Dan's life behind the magic screen.
Yeah, don't say that. How do I get rid of the background? No.
It's under video, and there's like
Yeah.
a drop down, and then you do a video background.
And I'm on this, says choose virtual, but I don't want a virtual. Oh wait, none. There you go.
There we go.
So I send this one that says when you need support, and it talks about what you're going through right now. Then it says meet the team, an example of a house that sold quickly. Then I talk about how attorneys need support as well, and that we're here for them. So I kind of cover the whole gamut in a trifold that fits in a number 10 envelope. And I've also done where there's little labels, and they can put the address label over here and send them out.
Brilliant.
Right.
Brilliant. Okay, your office looks pretty decent. That's clean there. You don't need a virtual background.
I will also give another tip that I just ran into.
Yeah.
I used to use MailChimp. Well, MailChimp started changing their pricing, because MailChimp actually automates emails out like almost like a web email. Yeah, email, where it tracks if people clicked on it, looked at it, And I just switched over to Flow Desk, FLO Desk.
Okay.
And I think $99 for the year. And it has templates that are beautiful. And you literally just slide over, I want my header here, and I want my text here, and I want a picture here. And I duplicated this brochure, kind of, sort of, in an email. And I sent it out to 110 people. Within the first 20 minutes, I had 20% people click on it. It actually shows you, did they click? Did they look at it? And did they close? It shows you how deep they went into the email. And it was $99 a year.
That's great.
It's
That's
awesome.
Great.
So you send an email with your brochure attached.
It was kind of this in a shorter amount in an email.
Got it.
Yes, I think what Dan's talking about, I'm going to put the link in here if that's okay with you, Dan.
Yeah,
Flowdesk, Flodesk.
correct.
So basically allows you kind of drag and drop, like, and make it looks like you know what you're doing, basically, right? It makes you look like you know what you're doing when it comes to designing an email. So it's almost like building a flyer inside the email body. So when you send it, it shows up like kind of like the flyer there. Is that right, Dan? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes. And I actually got feedback from people that have received all of it. They're going, wow, you must have a big team that does this. Like, no,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just me.
why. That's why I charge 6%, sometimes more. I got to pay the team. Man.
That's right.
All right, Sydney. Someone asked about your voicemail. Like, what do you use to do mass voicemails? Do you want to share with the team what's going on there?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Sydney Smith. I'm in Houston. And I'd like to share two things that I've done, but I haven't gotten results yet. But I've only done it to one group, which was like 59 people. So it's not a large scale, but I'll tell you two things that I did. The first one was I sent a letter first to this group, and this group was March 1st through March 11th. And I did it in May. Okay. So a couple months had passed. This was like one of the very last, live probate things before everything went into the pandemic. So the filings were March 1st through March 11th. I first sent a letter, and I struggled and learned how to do mail merge before you guys did the class. So I did get through that and sent them out. And then I wanted to do, so then we had gotten this new CRM for our brokerage, and I was fooling around on it, and I saw that we had BombBomb on there and I was like, oh my God, we've got BombBomb. So which is a way to do a video in the email. So it turned out you could do it for you could sign up for $5 a month, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I did an email, and you do a video. You can do it right on your laptop. You can have it integrated into your Outlook email. And I did the video, and then I uploaded the people's email addresses, and then I sent out the mass BombBomb email. So I start with the email that I did. And it comes back, and it's kind of like what Dan was saying. You can track like when people clicked on it, if they opened it up, and then you can print out a report that says if it's an invalid email, it'll tell you this was invalid. Then it'll say if it was a good email, if it went through and everything. So it's really good. Now I have not gotten, I sent the letter and I sent the mass BombBomb, and I have not gotten any information back. And then I found out that our brokerage realized that they had accidentally signed up for BombBomb. And then so when I went to do the next one, they took BombBomb off. So they decided they didn't want to pay for BombBomb. So I got one $5 BombBomb thing sent out. Now, as far as voicemail, I have done the slide out before, and what you can do now is this thing called Riffer, and I think you sign up for like $20 a month, and you can record a voicemail. And the same thing, you upload your group to your people who you want to send it to, and sends out a mass voicemail.
How do you spell Riffer?
I think it's like Riffer, maybe Riffer, but it's part of SlideOwl. So SlideOwl, for anybody who doesn't know that, allows you to go in and you dial the SlideOwl number, and then you put someone's phone number, and it goes right into their voicemail.
Okay.
So
can you
what I like about that is that you can also get a report, and it will tell you this did not go to their voicemail. This was a landline, or it doesn't look like the voicemail was set up. So it saves all the time from calling everybody and finding out. And then you can kind of do more research from there. It seems like it streamlines it a little easier.
Excellent. Excellent. So I think it's a great strategy, just leaving voicemails without having to call them, right? Sydney,
Yeah.
Can you find that link for us? I wasn't able to find Riffer or SlideDial. Okay, got it.
It's LYDIAL. And if you go to their website, they'll say, oh, we have a new thing now called Riffer. And if you want to send out a mass voicemail, you can do that.
Slide.out. Got it. Okay, Dan just
Yeah.
posted it.
Yeah, slide out. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
All right.
RIFFER. Yep.
Got it.
I know for many people that's, Sydney and I are talking about these systems. The amazing thing when they're giving you information back that they've clicked on it, read it, or heard it, then you've engaged them, and then you take that subset and you engage more.
Yeah.
So you can really dial in. So it's taken stumbling points to do it and figure it out, but just find the right system, and you'll make it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ultimately you want to talk to people that are curious and motivated or interested in what you have to say, right?
And Dan, thanks for sharing that, the number of people that you sent, because I only sent 59, and I did like those three things. I did the letter, the voicemail, and the email, and I have not gotten any. And so I was really discouraged, but it sounds like it's just a volume thing. You just got to do more and more people.
Oh yeah, 59 is nothing. 59 is just a blimp. You got to do a couple hundred to have some significant statistic of what that means for you in your business. Guys, always measure what works, measure what you're doing, track things. And that's why systems can really help you. Like, investing, say, 15, 10, 20 bucks a month or $100 a year into something that's going to help you save hours upon hours upon hours in your week and start working with people that actually want to hear from you and talk to you. It's going to help you get to the deal much, much faster, right? All right, next question is from Michael Harbert. Michael, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question, I think it's a good question for the whole community. And if not, I can just read it out. It's up to you. All right, I'm going to read it out. So what's the best way to build a team of associated business relationships, such as contractors, trash removal, personal property, estate liquidators, landscapers, etc.? How are you guys putting together your team? How are you putting together the team of people that can help the PR? So when you're calling them or emailing them or mailing them saying, oh, I have a team standing by that can help you, how do you build that team?
What I did is that I found someone that does like getting rid of the personal property at a state company. And because there's lots of them here in Houston. And I just called them up on the phone and asked them what they did and let them know what I did. And I said, I wanted somebody in my back pocket, so I'll put you down. And when the need comes, I'll just refer you.
Great.
So
that's a great way. Yeah. And what's another approach? Let's hear from some of you guys that have done it. Hopefully you guys have a list like this put together, because you don't want to be scrambling for people in the last minute when you have someone that's interested, because what will happen is when you're scrambling and you're pressed for time, you're going to make mistakes. You're just going to pick whatever and just to put something out there. Because now you said you have a team and they say, yeah, I'd like to talk to your plumber. Oh man, I don't have a plumber. Or yeah, I'd like to talk to your locksmith. Oh, I got to find a locksmith who has and then you're just scrambling, right? It's not, you're going to make mistakes. So what are some other ways that you can put your team together? Elizabeth saying, ask for referrals for vendors. That's great.
This is Minerva.
Yeah.
On my website, my personal website that I created, I have resources in there, and I have the best, I get these books every year, the best companies that people give them like a 5-star. And if they want something, I just say, if you go here, click on this link and you'll get whatever they're looking for. If it doesn't work for you, call me back and I'll see if I can do something else for you. So I let them choose.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
I don't want to be responsible.
Yeah, and that way you're not the bottleneck and all of that. So that's great. You can list it on your site. That's awesome. And then you hear some recommended vendors, call them, interview them, do what you got to do. Sydney's saying sometimes the brokerage keeps a list of recommended vendors. We have a list at our brokerage. That's a good one. So for those of you that are new to this in real estate or probate in general, you want to start building a network of trusted vendors that you can refer business to. And also they might start referring business to you. Let's see.
Can I throw one thing in?
Yeah, go for it.
I created a list and we've been using it for quite some time, but then it hit me in the head. There's someone here in our state, our city, that reached out to our title person that is a friendly person that's all over Facebook. And I saw the title person saying, hey, I'm helping a real estate agent out. Who have you used for vendors? We're trying to create a list for them. And I'm like, oh my God. And people started adding their stuff in. So my list is getting updated, but I'm like, why didn't I reach out to the title person at the beginning? Like, we have people around us, you know, just ask.
Yeah. Just ask. You'd be surprised what happens. Like when you just announce to the world, just ask, like, hey, I'm working on this. Who do you know? Who do you know and who you've worked with that you like that does? Because I know from my own experience, like if I have someone that I worked with in the past that I actually like a lot, I won't stop talking about them. You know, I just want them to get more business because they did really well by me and my family, for example, and I want them to have more business, right? So just ask around. Let's see here. Other questions. There was someone who said, anyone trying to market to attorneys? This is Wayne asking. Who's currently working with attorneys or marketing to attorneys?
Actually, right now, this is Clara.
Go ahead, Claire.
Actually, I just started because I had been sending out the letters to the petitioners, executors, whoever. And since I haven't gotten an answer from them, now I am reaching out to the attorneys. I'm sending the letters to the attorneys of every single one case that I had been following up. So
Got it. Okay.
I just sent the letters, started to send the letters out yesterday.
Great. That's great. That's a great initiative. The thing to keep in mind about attorneys is it's a long-term game plan, right? Because my thought is always like, time is money for them. They probably have, you're not the only one asking for referrals, asking for business. So you got to keep following up. You got to keep standing out. One way that you can do that is by asking if it's okay for you to refer business to them. It's a great way to introduce yourself and say, hi, my name is Jimmy Stewart. I'm a CPRESS agent, and I work with probate real estate quite exclusively. From time to time, our researchers at the courthouse find cases that are in pro per, and those people, those PRs or executors often find themselves overwhelmed and are looking for an attorney. I noticed that you are the attorney for the state blank or in this zip code or in my area. Would it be okay if I sent you referrals? Are you open to that? That's it. That's it. All you want is a reply and go, yeah, that sounds great, or sure, or whatever. Just break the ice with them, right? And then now your name is on their radar, and now maybe send them things that you've done once every 2 weeks or whatever. And if you have a case that they're working on that you're interested in, saying, oh, I was just wondering, did this estate, Mr. Jones, already sell this property? I have interested clients. I have an offer, whatever you want to say. I have interested clients or people that are interested in buying houses here. If there's already been sold or there's already an agent, I understand. No rush. Just coming across as wanting to help, wanting to refer business. And if you come across a case that actually is in pro per, you could call them up and say, you're doing pro per, how's that going for you? Because the people that do in pro per, they usually get overwhelmed by month 2, right? Especially if they have a full-time job or they have a family you got to take care of, and it's a lot of pressure to deal with, right? So by that time, if you say, would it be okay if I referred you to one of my attorneys in my network?
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Pro pers are just like FSBOs in a lot of instances.
Interesting.
And you know, like you said, you get in contact with them, you try to help them. And a lot of times with the attorneys, I've approached them the same way that you said, hey, I want to give you some business, and I'm looking for the right legal team. So it's a reflection of me, because if I give you the business, Jonathan, as an attorney, it makes me look good. And then, you get in with that legal firm as well.
Yeah.
And, so it's a team.
Yeah.
It's a team concept.
So 2 things I'll share with you. So Linda Wells is asking, when you mail something to an attorney, are they the ones opening the email or is it scrutinized by someone else? They're probably not the ones opening the mail. There's always going to be a gatekeeper, right? So you can try mailers. That's fine. I can share with you a strategy that worked really well for Mike Torres. It's very direct. You have to have the what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be in the right mindset to use the script I'm about to share with you, because it's very, you have to be on target, right? So basically he'll call up and it's always a gatekeeper. So, hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm calling about case AB 12345. Oh yes, how can I help you? I say, you the attorney of record? No, I'm not. Okay, well then you can't help me. I need to talk to Mr. Jones, who's the attorney. because the assistant cannot give legal advice or cannot talk about the case because they're not an attorney, right? What is this regarding? I can only, are you the attorney? No, I need to consult the attorney regarding a legal matter. And then you get through. But then you got to be ready. The attorney picks up, yeah, what is it? Now you got to have, you've got your 5 seconds of fame with the attorney. You got to be ready to deliver. You can be something as simple as, look,
Yeah.
you came up on my radar several times. I know that you're an active probate attorney. I have cash buyers that are ready for cases that want to close fast, or I have a marketing team ready to get, you know, top dollars for properties that, whatever the thing is that you want to say to the attorney. Again, this is for like direct, you're in by the phone and you got them right then and there, right? So that's something you can try. Or if you're not comfortable with that, you gotta try it out for yourself. You gotta try it out for yourself. But I think the approach with, I have cases that don't have attorneys on record, would it be okay if I refer them to you? Because attorneys are not allowed to go out there and market themselves, right? It's all by referral. Even if you go to an attorney website, attorneys.com, whatever, the reason why they can get leads from there is because they're not directly soliciting business. They're just putting their name up. And if you call, then it's a referral into their business. It's very interesting, especially with probate. All right, let's see. Minerva, do you want to share the link for the vendors? And if not, that's okay. Minerva, you mentioned you had a link of all your vendors that you're using. And again, guys, Minerva has been at this for like 6 years now. So her links are going to be relevant to her area, her territory, and where she's working. But it might be good for you to kind of jog your memory of what kind of vendors you want and what it looks like.
Okay, if you go to mreynoldsrealestate.com,
Okay.
that's my personal website. Then click on the resources and plug in anything you need. You'll say plumbing, it'll bring you the plumbers. If you say electrical, it'll bring you electrical. Now this is just, I do have a list of people that, you know, I have my painter, I have my rough carpenter, I have people that do concrete. I have contact with a lot of people that do work, but some of these are not bonded. So that's why I have to be careful when I use some of my resources.
Yeah.
But if you go in there and you're looking for something, you can do something like that in your website where you put it in there.
Yeah.
And
so where do I go? Like home care center or buy and sell a utility?
I have to just go to M Reynolds Real Estate and then go on the top. There should be a thing that says resources.
Yeah, and then under that I have free reports, mortgage calculator, buy or sell a utility, home care center, buy or sell a utility.
I have to go in there.
Okay.
Because I set it up so that it would be automatic when people wanted to get information.
Yeah.
And if I'm busy, you know, I mean, I'm always willing to look up in my book. I get the let me see what it's called. It's called Best Pick Reports Quality Home Service Guide, but this is Chicago.
Yeah.
So I get this like maybe 2 or 3 times a year if they change. And you can get anybody here. You get movers, insulation, heating and air conditioning, gutter insulation, garage doors, all of that.
Yeah.
You know, you can get in by going into the it should be resources in there.
Yeah. I just went there right now. So let me put the link in the chat, and then there's something also in here. You have free reports. So I'll just put it up here. M Reynolds Real Estate.
Realestate.com.
Yeah, got it.
And then I have, whenever anybody, if I don't have, I mean, I work in a lot of neighborhoods in Chicago. We have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Every time I work in one, I do an IDX and I upload it to the system. And I had to separate it between the suburbs and Chicago, because there's like 77 neighborhoods, and I only show the ones where I've worked. And sometimes I go in and I delete something only because I'm not getting people in that area a lot. But if I get a lead and say, oh, I want to look in this area, I just do it. You know, I just upload it.
Got it.
They can go in and do their search. Just like Zillow, you can
Yeah.
also just put in zip code and it'll take you there. It'll give you all
Great.
the properties.
Great, great. And it's a great way to just automate things and make things simpler, right? Just go there, see what you need. I noticed that you have free reports. That's also a good idea. There's basically an opt-in page for them where they say, I'm interested in this kind of help, that kind of help, and then you capture a lead that way.
Right.
Because then you can call them or email them later. So I noticed you're interested in I don't know, contractors. What's going on? How can I help?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Did we include home warranty companies as a resource? Because I use them a lot, and
That's a good idea. Why not?
you know, I get some solid referrals because you know they're on a point system, so they have to, you know, perform.
Yeah.
I found that in our area, Choice Warranty is top of the line, and you get deals. The only problem is when I'm looking for a client for a warranty, I get bombarded with emails. That's why I get so many emails.
Yeah, well, I was going to say 600 emails a day and only 1% is spam. That means 99% of 600, you're going to read them?
Well, if they're good emails, yes. If not, then I just delete them. But I get a lot of, I know when they're spam, and I report those. I know when it's going to be a spam. I report it to whatever company, you know, if it's my company, Netflix, the one that, you know, that I send my emails from. If it's iPhone, I don't have Apple. I do have Apple, or my husband does, and it's in my account. But I don't buy anything through Apple when they're trying to do stuff like that. Anytime they say click here, I don't click. I send an email to the person saying, did you send me, is this a legitimate email that you sent? And I've never had one that said it is.
Yeah.
Always said,
good
no,
pointers.
it's spam, and we're reporting it to, we sent it to someone to report it, you know, to report the person.
Yeah. All right.
Just,
well, let's look at, go ahead. Who's next?
Kathy, I just wanted to say I have had experience with Choice Warranty. And when I needed something repaired, they came up with all kinds of excuses as to why they couldn't fix it. Well, I only had them for the year, and when it ended, I never even got another home warranty again because I thought it was a real waste of time. So,
oh, Globe is also good. Have you ever used Globe?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's a good one too. And there's an American something. When I worked with the other company, they pushed that one, and that was very good. All you paid on that one is for the service. And if they couldn't, you'd pay for the, you know, they would give you the parts, you pay for the service to come in. If it's $80 to come and check, if they couldn't fix it, they would replace it. You know,
well,
let's see if there's any more questions here. So the idea here is to get referral sources to build your list. So warranty company could be a good one as well. My thought was like, if I had to start from scratch, I had zero network, I was always brand new in the town. Like I've never done any of this. I would just go and Yelp and look at the highest rated ones, call them, interview them, talk to them, connect with the owner, and then move on from there, right? Let's see, any other questions here before we call it a day? Martina's asking a good question here. What do you think about copying the attorney as a CC when you email the PR? That could work. I mean, there's a lot of good ideas there. So there's no right or wrong answer until you test it out. You know, just test it out. You know, CC and in the email to the PSA, I've copied your attorney so they're in the loop. Here's what's going on, right? And the attorney may or may not do anything with it. You know, at the end of the day, the PR is in charge and the attorney works for the PR. So just courtesy, including them in the email, I think that's a good idea. Also, that way, maybe the PR is more comfortable with you because you're comfortable including the attorney. So that shows confidence, which is great. All right, let's see here. Wayne is asking, how often is this group call done? It's once a week. We're having these ProbateData PowerGym once a week on Fridays at 10 a.m. It's always the same link. So whatever link, however you got here, just bookmark that link and save it. And we'll be back here again next Friday at 10 o'clock. Any other questions? Type it in or unmute yourself.
I have a comment.
Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, if you're dealing with lots of emails, we have obviously the spam email, but there's also a lot of people that you're in business with who just send you updates of stuff you don't particularly want to read. What I do is I have a filter on my email, and anything that includes the words, includes the word unsubscribe anywhere in the body goes into a separate folder, because it's I call it mass junk, because it's usually just mass mailings, but then I can just check quickly down there. It's not in my junk folder, but it's a separate folder from people that I actually am in business with.
So that means my emails go in that separate folder.
No, your filter, anything from NTI goes into its own folder. That's higher up.
We have our own folder. That's good to know. I'm happy to hear that.
You're higher up the filter list.
I like it. I like it. We're still getting filtered, but we're up there. That's good to know. All right, guys, as always, it's been a pleasure. I learned a lot from all of you today. Thank you for contributing. Thank you for sharing your wealth of knowledge and resources and tips. And as always, be well, stay safe, and wash those hands, guys. All right, take care now. Bye-bye.